Candice Michelle Beckman-Ehrlich, better known as Candice, is an American model, actress, former WWE diva and retired professional wrestler best known for her time with World Wrestling Entertainment. After spending years modeling and acting, Candice Michelle was hired by WWE in 2004, after she participated in the WWE Diva Search. Outside of wrestling, she is known as the GoDaddy Girl, performing in the company's annual Super Bowl commercials. She also posed for a cover and nude pictorial in the April 2006 issue of Playboy. At Vengeance in 2007, she defeated Melina to win her first WWE Women's Championship and became the first former Diva Search contestant to win a WWE title. She was released from her WWE contract on June 19, 2009. Early life: Beckman grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and she is of German and Costa Rican descent. She played varsity and college basketball and has an avid interest in many sports. Because she is from the state of Wisconsin, Candice is a Green Bay Packers fan. At 16, Beckman won a modeling competition at her local skating rink. Around 1999, she moved to Los Angeles, California to become a professional model and actress. She studied theater arts at Santa Monica College and had on-camera acting and Meisner technique training at the Pictorial acting studio. It was during this time that Beckman adopted her middle name Michelle as her working last name. She appeared in numerous bodybuilding and car magazines such as Flex and Lowrider magazine, as well as being named Cyber Girl of the Week in the June 2002 issue of Playboy. Beckman also made appearances on television programs such as Party of Five, Seventh Heaven and Hotel Erotica, as well as appearing in such films as Tomcats, Anger Management, Dodgeball and A Man Apart. Professional wrestling career: World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince's Devils. In July 2004, Beckman auditioned to be a contestant for World Wrestling Entertainment's Raw Diva Search. Despite not being chosen to be in the final 10, she was hired by the company under the gimmick of a makeup artist. She competed on Raw in several diva contests, including lingerie fashion shows and limbo contests, until the end of the year. On June 30, 2005, Candice was moved to SmackDown, where she became involved in a storyline between Torrie Wilson and Melina. On July 24, Candice made her pay-per-view debut at the Great American Bash, where she served as the special guest referee for the bra and panties match between Wilson and Melina. She was then moved back to Raw in a trade along with Wilson. In her next storyline, Candice and Torrie became villains by taunting 2005 Diva Search winner Ashley Massaro, and they joined forces with fellow Raw diva Victoria to form an alliance known as Ladies in Pink. On the September 5 episode of Raw, Wilson defeated Massaro after the interference from Victoria and Candice. They continued feuding with Massaro until Trish Stratus returned from a legitimate injury to help Massaro retaliate against Vince's Devils. On the October 17 episode of Raw, where she, Torrie and Victoria faced off against the team of Stratus, Massaro, and their new ally Mickie James in a winning effort after Wilson pinned James. On November 28 episode of Raw, Candice teamed up with Victoria and Torrie Wilson in losing effort to Trish, Ashley and Mickie. In November, Candice signed on to pose for the April 2006 issue of Playboy. She had her first shot at the WWE Women's Championship in a Fulfill Your Fantasy Battle Royal at Taboo Tuesday but was eliminated from the match by Massaro. At the Tribute to the Troops on December 19, Michelle teamed up with Maria Kanellis in a winning effort, defeating then Women's Champion Trish Stratus and Ashley Massaro in a Divas Tag Team match after Candice pinned Ashley. In January, Candice appeared at New Year's Revolution in the first ever bra and panties gauntlet match, where she was eliminated by Maria. On the February 13 episode of Raw, Michelle accompanied Torrie in losing effort to Ashley. After winning a #1 Contenders Diva Battle Royal on Raw, Candice got her first singles WWE Women's Championship match, but lost to then-champion Trish Stratus on February 27. After the match, Candice slapped Wilson, blaming her, in storyline, for the loss. Vince's Devils later broke up when Torrie became a fan favorite after Candice and Victoria turned on her during Candice's Playboy cover unveiling. This feud led to a match at WrestleMania 22 in which both Playboy cover girls competed in a Playboy pillow fight. Torrie Wilson won the match. On the June 12, 2006 episode of Raw, Candice was defeated by Torrie in the first ever Wet n Wild match, a wrestling match involving water balloons and squirt guns, in which the winner of the match would be on the cover of the WWE 2006 Summer Special magazine. But the feud continued sporadically in backstage segments where Candice was depicted as Vince McMahon's sex slave. Singles competition and women's champion. On the July 17 episode of Raw, Candice was the special guest referee during a tag team match of Stratus and Wilson against Victoria and Mickie James. James entered the match without being tagged in, so Candice threw her out of the ring. Afterwards, Victoria tried to clothesline Candice, but she ducked out of the way, allowing Stratus to perform a Stratus action for the victory. As a result of her participation in the match, Candice became a fan favorite. On the Raw following Unforgiven, Candice won a match against Lita. The next week, in her second match against Lita, Candice was pinned after she was speared by guest referee Edge, in the first round of the WWE Women's Championship tournament. On the November 27 episode of Raw, during the Diva Battle Royal, Candice suffered a legitimate broken nose when Victoria kicked her in the face. She had surgery on November 30 to repair her deviated septum. Candice returned at New Year's Revolution on January 7, when she went to the ring with Maria to fight off Melina as she tried to interfere in the Women's Championship match between then-champion Mickie James and Victoria. Candice made her in-ring return on January 22 when she and Mickie James defeated Victoria and Melina in a tag team match with Candice scoring the pinfall. Candice then resumed her feud with Melina, who claimed in her blogs that no Playboy cover model was capable of defeating her in the ring. Candice took offense to this, which led to a bra and panties match between the two, which she lost. During this time, Candice began training on her off days to improve her in-ring abilities. Weeks later, Candice was beginning to receive more airtime and high-profile matches, and she won tag matches that pitted her with Mickie James against Victoria and Melina. She also picked up several wins against the latter two in singles matches, which culminated at One Night Stand, where Candice defeated Melina in the first ever match held in a swimming pool full of pudding. Candice defeated Melina to capture her first WWE Women's Championship at Vengeance, becoming the first ever WWE Diva Search contestant to win the women's title. Candice retained her title against Melina in a rematch at the Great American Bash, as well as debuting a new finisher called the Candy Wrapper. Beth Phoenix became the #1 contender for the women's title after winning a Diva Battle Royal at SummerSlam. At the Unforgiven pay-per-view, however, Candice successfully retained her title in their match by countering one of Phoenix's moves with a crucifix pin. Their feud continued when Phoenix pinned Candice during a non-title mixed tag team match on Raw on September 24. At No Mercy on October 7, Candice dropped the title to Phoenix, ending her reign as women's champion. On October 22, Candice legitimately cracked her clavicle during her rematch for the women's title against Phoenix in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Phoenix ran into the ropes, causing Candice to fall face first off of the turnbuckle onto her face, neck, and shoulders, necessitating a rushed finish and putting her out of action for 14 weeks. Injuries and release. Candice made her on-screen return on the February 18, 2008 episode of Raw, distracting Beth Phoenix during a match with Maria. She returned to in-ring action on March 17, teaming up with Maria to defeat Jillian Hall and Victoria. During the match, Candice injured her left shoulder by tearing the scar tissue over her previously broken left clavicle. Unlike her previous injury, Candice broke her clavicle in 4 separate places, in essence, shattering it. As a result, Candice was replaced by Ashley for her scheduled match at WrestleMania XXIV. On March 23, Candice underwent successful surgery on her rebroken clavicle. On the September 1 episode of Raw, Candice made her in-ring return match teaming up with Kelly Kelly and Mickie James to defeat Jillian Hall, Katie Lee Burchill and Beth Phoenix, with Candice pinning Phoenix. Candice received a push upon her return as she was named the #1 contender for the Women's Championship, but lost to Beth Phoenix at No Mercy. On the February 2 episode of Raw, Candice unsuccessfully challenged Beth Phoenix for the Women's Championship after the interference by Mendes and Marella. On the February 16 episode of Raw, Candice, James and Kelly stopped Marella and Mendes from interfering in the Women's Championship match between Melina and Phoenix, which was won by Melina. On April 15, 2009, Candice was drafted to the SmackDown brand as part of the 2009 supplemental draft. She, however, never reappeared on the brand and was released from her WWE contract on June 19, 2009. Other media, music videos. In December 2011, Candice along with Tori Wilson filmed Lillian Garcia's music video You Drive Me Loca. Television and modeling. During the week of November 5, 2007, Candice appeared on 5 episodes of Family Feud with several other WWE superstars and divas. Also in 2007, Candice Michelle was number 82 on AskMen.com's 100 Most Desirable Women list. Beckman appeared on the February 6, 2008 episode of Project Runway, in an episode where the contestants were challenged to design wrestling attire for several of WWE's female wrestlers. Beckman made a special appearance on the November 12, 2008 episode of Redemption Song, which is hosted by fellow WWE wrestler Chris Jericho, with several other divas. She also appeared in the February 2009 issue of Flex magazine. GoDaddy. Beckman gained national attention in 2005 when she appeared in a commercial for internet domain provider GoDaddy, which aired during Super Bowl XXXIX. She played a character named Nikki Capelli, who had trouble with a snapped spaghetti strap on her tank top as she testified before a panel holding broadcast censorship hearings. The commercial was a parody of the 2004 wardrobe malfunction in which Janet Jackson's right breast was exposed. She then became widely known as Miss GoDaddy.com, and the GoDaddy Girl. The following year, she was featured in several more GoDaddy commercials. During the 2006 NFC playoffs, she was featured cleaning windows. She later appeared in a commercial during Super Bowl XL, where she seduced an ABC executive to acquire an advertising slot for GoDaddy. She appeared in another commercial for Super Bowl XLI in 2007, where she danced in a room being doused with champagne. Beckman appeared on American Chopper to promote the commercial as well as GoDaddy's custom-made chopper. In 2008, she was featured in her fourth consecutive GoDaddy commercial for Super Bowl XLII, entitled White Light, but Fox refused to air it. Personal life. On May 7, 2005, she married Ken G. Ehrlich, a West Los Angeles chiropractor. Candice has 2 daughters, Akai Ann Rose, born May 23, 2010, and Raimi Grace, born October 20, 2012. She has a tattoo of the word faith on her inner wrist, which she considers a personal affirmation. It is also a reminder, in her words, to believe in myself and have faith. She got the tattoo, which was documented on the reality show LA Inc., after breaking her collarbone in 2007. The tattoo is also related to her Christian beliefs. When Candice made her return, she had new tattoos on her back. Her new tattoos are of 5 stars, which starts at the lower part of her back then finished at the middle of her back. Candice, along with Batista, Shelton Benjamin, and Josh Matthews, represented WWE at the 2008 Democratic National Convention in an effort to persuade fans to register to vote in the 2008 presidential election. In wrestling, finishing moves, Candy Rapper Euro 2007 Euro 2009, spinning heel kick Euro 2007. Used as a signature move from 2008 Euro 2009, Sugar Rush Euro 2005 Euro 2006. Signature moves, bridging Northern Lights suplex, Candelicious, Hurricane Runner, Tilt Euro or Euro Whirl Head Scissors Takedown, Diving Crossbody, Elbow Drop, with GoDaddy Dance Theatrics, Rolling Neck Snap, Springboard Arm Drag. Wrestlers managed, Tori Wilson, Victoria, Maria Kanellis. Managers, Tori Wilson. Entrance themes, Holla by Desiree Jackson, What Love Is by Jim Johnston. What Love Is In-House Remix by Scooter and Lavelle. Championships and Accomplishments, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, PWI Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, PWI Woman of the Year, PWI ranked her number 10 of the best 50 female singles wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2008. World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE Women's Championship. Notes. References. External links. Official website, Candice Michelle at Online World of Wrestling, Candice Michelle's profile on WWE.com, Candice Michelle at the Internet Movie Database.